The sound of crashing waves echoed in my ears as I clung to the edge of the cliff. My fingers bleeding, my breath shallow. The world spun before my eyes, and through the ringing in my head, I heard his voice. Calm, cold, and terrifying. You should have stayed out of our lives, Margaret. Then, his shoe pressed down on my hand. I remember his smirk before everything went dark. When I woke up, I was lying on a jagged rock below the cliff. My body was broken, bruised, and my soul shattered. I couldn't move. Every breath felt like fire. But as I stared up at the place I had fallen from, I whispered one thing through cracked lips. I'm not done yet. It all began 6 months earlier when my daughter, Emily, brought home her fiancé, Daniel. He was charming, too charming. A man who knew exactly what to say, how to smile, and how to make everyone feel like he cared. Emily was glowing, in love, and so sure she had found the one. As a mother, I wanted to believe her happiness. But something about him unsettled me. There was a coldness behind his eyes. A flicker of control disguised as confidence. Soon after they married, Emily started to change. She stopped visiting. She wouldn't answer my calls. When she did, her voice was shaky, always rushed. Once, I heard Daniel's voice in the background, angry, low, and sharp. Tell her you're busy. She hung up immediately. My gut screamed that something was wrong. One evening, I drove to their house unannounced. The moment Daniel opened the door, his expression froze. The fake charm slipped for just a second. Behind him, I saw Emily, pale, silent, with a bruise faintly visible on her wrist. My heart dropped, but before I could say anything, Daniel blocked my view and said smoothly, "Emily's fine. You should call before you visit." His tone wasn't a suggestion. It was a warning. That night, Emily called me secretly. Her voice trembled. "Mom, please don't come again. He gets angry." "Heh. He thinks you're trying to ruin our marriage." I could hear the fear in her breath. My own daughter was living in a nightmare, but she couldn't see a way out. I started keeping track. The missed calls, the strange behavior, the lies. I gathered what I could. Photos, messages, bank statements. Daniel was manipulating her, draining her savings, isolating her. But when I tried confronting him, he smiled that same eerie smile and said, "You should stay out of this. Emily's my wife now. You had your chance to raise her. Let me handle her now." I reported him to the police, but there wasn't enough evidence. Emily denied everything. I was desperate. And that's when Daniel decided I had become a problem. He invited me on a peace trip, saying he wanted to fix things. Against my better judgment, I went, partly to protect Emily, partly hoping we could reconcile for her sake. He drove us to a coastal cliff with a breathtaking view. The wind was strong, the waves fierce. We stood near the edge, and I remember thinking how beautiful and terrifying nature could be. Then, he turned to me and said softly, You're ruining everything. She'll never be free while you're alive. Before I could react, he shoved me with all his strength. I fell. I should have died. But fate had other plans. A lower ledge broke my fall, though it shattered my leg and shoulder. I lay there for hours, until a fisherman spotted me and called for help. When I woke in the hospital, I told the police everything. But Daniel was clever. He claimed I slipped while taking photos, and without witnesses, they couldn't charge him. Even Emily stood by him, saying, "Mom always exaggerates. Please, just let us live our lives." It broke me. For weeks, I couldn't walk. I cried every night. Not just from pain but from betrayal. I wanted justice, but I also wanted my daughter back. And so, I decided if no one would fight for me, I'd fight for myself. Revenge became my medicine. Once I could move again, I hired a private investigator. What he found shocked even me. Daniel had done this before. 2 previous relationships, both ending with accidents and vanished women. He was a predator, and Emily was his next victim. I gathered every shred of evidence. Bank fraud, fake IDs, hidden accounts. Then I found the final proof, an audio recording from the day of the accident. My phone, which had fallen nearby, had recorded everything. His confession, his threat, the sound of my scream. I sent the file to the police anonymously. Within days, Daniel was arrested. The news spread like wildfire. Emily's world collapsed, and when she saw the truth, she broke down completely. She came to me, sobbing in the hospital, whispering, "Mom, I didn't know. I didn't see it." I held her, tears streaming down both our faces. "You see now, sweetheart. That's enough." Daniel was sentenced to life for attempted murder and financial fraud. He lost everything. His money, his freedom, his control. And me, I rebuilt my life piece by piece. My body still bears the scars, but they remind me of something powerful. Survival isn't just living. It's fighting back when life tries to end you. Months later, I visited the cliff again. The wind was cold, but it no longer frightened me. I looked down at the ocean and whispered, "You failed." The nightmare had ended, not because I survived the fall, but because I refused to stay down.